What's going on, Taurus? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're just having the most amazing month so far. Considering it's your birthday season. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Taurus, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So Taurus, is that time. It's the planetary energy spread. And with this spread, can you tell I'm excited? With this spread, it just every time the sun moves into a new sign, we're just going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies, Taurus. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Happy to see ya. Ready to celebrate. It's just good energy all around here, Taurus. Now, Taurus, I got some Zodiac oracle cards laid out here, and these cards represent all the signs that each planet is in. Now, the ones Aries and Scorpio, those are going to represent the eclipse energies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull an oracle card for each of these signs, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, just so you all know, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Taurus. But let's talk about this birthday party that you're throwing. Because you got the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter will be entering there a little bit later in May, and then you have Uranus that's all up in your sign. And let's start with the Sun, because the Sun entered the sign, depending on when you're watching this, it entered on the 20th of April and will be there through the 20th of May. And this really, Taurus, this invites us to just kind of slow down and stabilize, really just be in the present moment and just indulge your senses, really kind of look around and appreciate the things that you have. And this is a great energy as well, just, because your sign is rooted in the earth, getting out in some kind of nature, maybe doing some, or maybe even working with the earth, maybe doing some gardening, maybe we're doing some maybe even helping out with I've got a text message talking about Earth Day coming up here soon, so maybe we're doing something for Earth Day. But the thing with this energy though, Taurus, just because of you're a fixed sign, and being the fixed sign of Earth, there is a natural tendency for some stubbornness. So just something to be mindful of. But I feel like it's less stubborn and you're just really grounded, Taurus. That's where we're at there. But now let's talk about Mercury in your sign, because Mercury is going to start doing some trickiness here, because Mercury entered your sign on the 3rd of April and will be in Taurus until the 11th of June. And why so long? Because we're in retrograde season. But with Mercury retrograde, and I think I'm going to look this up later today, but I remember I was reading something not too long ago where I think I saw that Mercury is going to be retrograding in all of the Earth signs. And so I feel like that this retrograde period could be a great time to just really focus on, being present, in what ways that we can get our security down, because let's just talk about Mercury retrograde just in general. Retrograde times are a great time for reflection and really kind of slowing down and just kind of getting a game plan. In Mercury retrograde, you might notice some weirdness in your communication, because Mercury rules our thoughts, how we communicate. You might notice also some things with technology though, because that's another thing that Mercury kind of rules over. So just something to be mindful of, Taurus. And it's not to say that we can't get a game plan, but it's just we got to be a little more mindful during this time. But with Mercury specifically retrograding in your sign, Mercury will be retrograde from, actually, earlier today, I want to say at 3 in the morning Central Time is when Mercury went retrograde on the 21st, and will be retrograde until the 14th of May. But with Mercury retrograde in your sign, because yours is a sign of finances, security, material matters, things of that nature, there may be this energy might affect your judgment or in your interactions when it comes to those matters. So I've been telling people, especially when we're doing like purchases and things, I've been saying, for any sort of like online purchases, maybe making a folder in your emails, and if you don't already have this, and just putting your receipts and stuff in like a folder like that. Not that I feel like anything weird is going to happen, but just just on the off chance, I feel like it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And also, any kind of big purchases, just holding on to receipts, keeping that stuff kind of filed away, Taurus. But the nice thing, while we're doing this, Mercury regardless, retrograde or not, we're still getting a game plan in your sign. We're figuring out all the ways that we can get this, feel more secure on this journey, Taurus. And when Mercury goes direct, the energy is going to feel a little more steady, a little more persistent, and a little more kind of pragmatic mind. Because when we set our minds to something with Mercury being in Taurus, Mercury has a tendency, could be all over the place, but Taurus kind of really slows that energy down. So we can really kind of focus and persevere and be diligent in whatever we set our hearts to, as far as whether we want to learn a new skill, maybe get savvy on our finances or other ways that we can feel secure. So just something to be mindful of or be aware of when we're working with these energies, Taurus, because the universe is setting things up, because right after Mercury goes direct, a couple days later, Jupiter on the 16th of May will be moving into your sign, and will be in your sign up until Jupiter spends about 12 to 13 months in a sign, but will be in your sign until the 25th next year, 2024 in May. But with Jupiter being in Taurus, Jupiter's all about abundance and higher learning, expansion, growth. This is a great time to figure out if things might feel like things have slowed down a little bit, but this is a great time to really kind of analyze where we're at on this journey and how can we take our abundance and stretch it out for the long term. That's what Jupiter and Taurus energy is about. And not even just in one way, in multiple ways, however this is looking like for you, whether we're investing in self-growth, whether we're thinking about a business, whatever this looks like, thinking about this long-term stuff and getting some things that'll take care of us over, many cycles to come. And then that's going to be perfect because for the last little troublemaker here, that party animal, Uranus has been in your sign for the last few years. Uranus spends about 7 years in a sign and will be in your sign until the 7th of July, 2025. But with Uranus being in Taurus, Uranus is a revolutionary sign, or a revolutionary planet, and really comes in and shakes the game up. And you've noticed with the rate that people have been working from home over these last few years to all this bank stuff. And Uranus, now that Pluto's woken up and starting to do some movements, Uranus is like, oh, all right. These next couple years, we're only going to see the beginning of some shifts here. But the nice thing is that this energy right now, we can get a game plan. This is a great time to be thinking about what abundance do we plan to bring when Uranus is done clearing out this stuff? What does that new era look like? Because we're coming up on a whole new game here, Taurus. So let's see what your oracle card is. I'm with it. Look at you looking fit, working on yourself. You got the 6th card of Capricorns here, and this is the bodybuilder card. Look at you tearing it up. And with the bodybuilder card, this is a card of power, strength, forceful, determined, discipline, vigor, domination, push forward, influence, leverage, mastery, resolve, intense, resistance, self-improvement, and exercise. So this is exactly what your energy is about. Working on self-improvement, what ways that we can come into our power, build up our strength, really exercise these abilities that you have, whether this is literal exercise, maybe we're getting in, working the body, maybe we're doing kick-throughs, or maybe we're doing some yoga, going for walks, hikes, swimming, whatever, Taurus. Or maybe we're working on our mental health, strengthening that aspect, getting ourselves in more calm environments, and just whatever ways that you're feeling that you're not feeling strong in, Taurus. Take this energy going forward. This is all of this stuff here, especially these first 3 here, this eclipse stuff and things. This is a great time to strengthen those weak points. And listen, it might feel intense at some times. It's going to take some discipline, and it's going to take some focus. But lucky for you, this is, I feel like, what a great thing to set your mindset on you. You know, take that fixed energy and make you your habit, make you your focus, and really come into, this is how we come into the highest and we're going to talk about that with the eclipse. Man, that's brilliant, Taurus. Let's get some, hold on, let me get some, hydrate. Just make sure that we're hydrating. Just because we're doing all this healthy, you know, if you're going to be moving your body more and all this stuff here, yeah, make sure you're hydrating, Taurus. But let's get some tarot on this and get some more details on this. And really, Taurus, I really feel that with Jupiter entering your sign, if you really focus on these self-improvement things, that is going to pay you off in the long run. Let's see what we got here. Absolutely, because there's going to be nothing but expansion from here. You got the Three of Wands, Taurus, and with the Three of Wands, this is a card of, this is what happens when we do push forward and we start focusing, when we start really leveling up and really coming into our skills, more opportunities open up for you. You know, the world really starts opening up, but it's taking that time and really coming into your strengths, because the more that you refine these skills and really focus on your development and doing these things, that self-improve and all of that, that changes the influence of how you can influence the energy. You know, it affects everything, Taurus. You become an expert in your craft. And I mean, there'll be just opportunities aplenty. And I mean, there are already opportunities aplenty. This can even be something where you may not even have to look for this stuff, Taurus. This could be, what do you want to add to this? You know, how do you see, what value do you want to bring here? You know, maybe you want to start a workout video or something along those lines. Maybe you want to do just any sort of self-care course, something, but this is a time to even just thinking about that. If we have any ideas like that, you know, you can turn these improvements, you know, we can do it, you can, how do I want to put this? You know, like, let's say, for example, if you've been working on running for, you've been working on running for like a marathon or something, you can make this like a video blog, or maybe even like a written blog, something along those lines, like my journey for the marathon, you know, running the distance, or whatever, Taurus. Look at that. Look, it's writing itself. But I feel like regardless, you know, this is a time to, and this is a time to just even look for stuff, Taurus, you know, look for different opportunities, like see if there's something that you've even been curious about, you know, and working on that stuff, and just thinking with that, you know, especially if this is something new, don't be afraid to push yourself and try to, and especially if this is like a new skill, you know, you're going to be, let's say if we wanted to learn the guitar, you might be a little awkward at it at first, but with practice, with time, you're going to become a natural. So like, don't even let like new things out of your way deter you from trying stuff, Taurus. All right. Let's see what else we got. And you know what? I did your solar return or your birthday spread yesterday, and I mean, this is pretty much the energy that you brought. If you just like, it really seems like the year, just really thinking about what ways do you want to improve yourself, is going to be to your benefit. I mean, really for everyone, but I feel like really, especially for you, Taurus, that feels to be like the theme here, because weren't we just talking about that? Here's Jupiter about to move into your sign, so be thinking about this. Reflect on, because the Wheel of Fortune is about, like, you know, big thing for me is about cycles. And if we feel like that things haven't been going our way, you know, just think with it being in reverse, what are some ways that we can change that? One, how can we improve, you know, and sit down with that, you know, think, you know, and be honest with yourself. What ways do you want to improve? And then let's get a game plan, figure out how we can manifest this stuff. But it's gonna be some work, but it's gonna be totally, and after a while, once it becomes a routine, it won't even be work. It'll become second nature, whatever this self-improvement thing is. But this is that time to think think about that and start, what do you, how do you, not even just what and how do you want to manifest, you know, like these are some big questions to be thinking about over this, and don't feel pressure to get them solved. Again, right now, it's just to really just start get the gears turning, you know, just slowly make a list, you know, as inspiration just pops up to you. And be ready to just to jump on these opportunities, because I feel that there's something's cooking up for you, Taurus. So let's get these ingredients. Let's start getting this. Let's start whipping some stuff up here. Alrighty. I like that. Strong starter. You know it is only going to get stronger, because let's talk about this hybrid solar eclipse in Aries. Because this energy happened on the 20th. And with the eclipse, just eclipse energy in general, this is very much Wheel of Fortune. It's signifying the end of a cycle and the beginning of something new. But this eclipse that happened in particular, it was it's a combination. It appears like a total solar eclipse and an annular eclipse, which is very rare. You know, these happen like maybe once a decade or so. And more specifically, where this eclipse happened, because we're going to get an astrology lesson here, in like a zodiac sign, there are 30 degrees in a sign, from 0 to 29 degrees. And this eclipse occurred on the 29th degree, or that one's referred to as the anaretic degree. And this represents the end of a karmic cycle. You know, think of that degree as if you've gone through the entire thing of Aries, and now that is the emperor at his highest vibration in this, and he's realized his authentic self in destiny. And that's what this this eclipse is asking you right now, Taurus. What do you look like at your highest vibration? And then how do we make that manifest? What steps can we start putting towards that thing? And what are these investments that we can start doing to start thinking about this long-term growth here? So let's get an oracle card on that, Taurus, and let's see how you're about to tackle this energy. I did. Look at you, humanitarian. All right. You got the 9th card of Aquarius here, which is the water carrier card. And with the water carrier, this is a card of humanitarian, generosity, nobility, balance, calm life, communication, compassion, unselfish, alleviate suffering, benefactor, care for others, humane, helpful, and ethical. Now with this card, Taurus, I do feel like that, just because I'm just thinking with this balance and care for others, it just kind of popped in my head. If we do some kind of care for others, I just making sure that we're balancing this energy, making sure that we're taking care of ourselves, because where I'm all for humanitarianism, but we can only fill others' cups if we're making sure that we fill our cups along the way. And that's not to say that you don't do that, but I'm just saying let's just be mindful of that. That just kind of popped in my head. But, you know, I do feel like for some, just more with that balance and calm life, I feel like that with everything that's going down, you know, that because when we start thinking about Wheel of Fortune and thinking about these big destiny things and where life is going to take us, you know, we want to stay in a place where we're calm, you know, where the communication with ourselves is, you know, it's calm, it's compassionate, it's just like, you know, we're trying to nurture something into, you know, we're trying to nurture greatness. So I feel like, you know, with just thinking with this card, you know, and all the changes and things that are happening, Taurus, make sure that we're keeping ourselves a cool head, and that we're not being reactive at this time, you know, that we're being proactive with these energies. But one other thing, you know, just like how I was talking about earlier with maybe like if while we're working on ourselves in this improvement, this could be something too where maybe what you're doing can be of help to others. So just something to be, if that's something that's been on your mind, and this energy has been kind of floating around between like it was like Leo, Aries, and like maybe one other sign. But if we've been thinking about, because here's I feel like this card, it's like with everything that's going down, there can be this uncertainty, and you know, if everyone around us is panicking, that affects our energy. So if we want to restore the balance, I feel like Taurus, be thinking about, if that's something that really speaking to you, be thinking about stuff like that, because that's a brilliant idea. And find to see if we can find ways to maybe help raise the get the vibration back to normal, getting to really start raising it all together. But let's get some cards on this and see how you're yeah, that's interesting. Let's get some more on this. Interesting. Okay. Oh. So you got the Eight of Pentacles here, Taurus. And I really feel like really again going back to that, just finding ways to get your energies back in balance, doing, because the Eight of Pentacles is a card of refinement and getting and honing your craft. Very, very much bodybuilder card. So just making sure that we do find ways to make that a routine, to work in areas, that we're doing things that are calming for us, that are balancing, that are keeping us just zen and in a serene place. They got our energies all vibing well. But again, I do feel that there's maybe we're thinking, if we are thinking about doing some type of community work or something along those lines, I feel like that maybe just kind of talking about this, just with that communication, maybe pitching the ideas to some people, maybe go around your neighborhood if that's something you're thinking, for example, and maybe seeing getting kind of feeling people out, getting a temp check to see, how people feel about this. But I do feel like that, maybe because maybe you want to start up a neighborhood art group, or maybe whatever, Taurus. But I just, there's something here I feel like also, because when I just even think with Virgo's card, Virgo is very much an energy of service. So just something to think about, Taurus. If you're entertaining that idea, I say give it a try and see and get creative, as well. See what kind of fun ways that we can help, kind of get people inspired again, thinking about what's next, because sometimes it's just breathing in that, just that creation, when we start working with our, hands and start just manifesting things, that really does help get people in just I feel like in a better vibe. So just something to think about, Taurus. All right, look at that. Changing the world and didn't really even need much, Taurus. I like it. Now let's talk about the Scorpio energy, this full moon in Scorpio, full moon lunar eclipse that's happening in Scorpio, because this is going to happen on the 5th of May, and with Scorpio energy. Scorpio can be intense energy, but I feel like it's really only intense when we don't work with the energy. And this is something, kind of like what I was thinking with that that water carrier card, just because everyone's going to be feeling these shifts, Taurus. And if it's something that we've noticed that it seems like that you've just been feeling compelled to help or trying to do something, this could be great energy to help do that. But Scorpio energy is where, yes, it can be intense. It's more so meant to be cathartic. It's meant to be a release, a metamorphosis. We're changing, we're refining, we're growing, and it's always this life is nothing but cycles. Take it from me. My son's in Cancer, and being ruled by the moon. That's a conversation for another day. But Scorpio, because Scorpio is considered when they do a deep dive, and they deal with secrets in those kind of dark realms, but they're not afraid to bring that stuff up to light, any kind of hurt, any kind of trauma, anything along those lines. So you may notice that there may be some painful things that might come up for you during this time. It might be maybe some past traumas, anything along those lines. But it's not meant to keep you down, Taurus. Scorpio energy is meant to take the pain and turn it into power. Take the trauma and turn it into triumph. And you'll notice too that your psychic awareness is going to be heightened during, it's going to be heightened. So pay attention to that and really kind of check in too, really just kind of feel like if you notice something that's not feeling or if you're not feeling in balance, then let's find the core of that. Work with the Scorpio energy and embrace that change, Taurus. But let's get an oracle card on this and see how we can get some more on that. Alrighty, Taurus. I dig it. Look at this. We got one of your cards. Got the 7th card of Taurus, which is the eyeglass card. And this is a card of assessment, evaluate options, perspective, review, analyze, opinion, judgment, examine, seeing clearly, define print, estimate, closer look, focus, awareness, and check the details. And really, Taurus, I feel that with how your energy's been going so far, with this, really with that bodybuilder and even this water carrier, this is a great time for you just to do like assess yourself, review just where you're at in life. Get a game plan if we haven't already sat down and figured this stuff out, and just kind of start getting some eyes again on some areas that we feel that we want to grow. Let's bring some awareness to these things, whether it could be maybe relationship, maybe this is something where maybe we overgive, maybe again that might be something where we want to correct, or whatever this is. But I do feel like that this is something, even just with this judgment, when we're evaluating these things, don't judge yourself, Taurus. This is something where it's all a matter of perspective. I mean, where your perspective at is going to be really important. That's something that I've really been kind of emphasizing. And your thoughts become things, your perspectives permeate. So we just want to be mindful of, just trying to stay in that higher vibration, telling ourselves like positive thoughts, and living in like a mindset of abundance, and taking the time to like express gratitude around just little things, positive affirmation, things along those lines. But also with this, just thinking with, how, the water carrier, the Aquarius energy can be a card, their energy is about networking. And if we happen to do any sort of like networking that involves any sort of like contracts, paperwork, things along those lines, just in a more kind of general sense, just make sure that we're reading over the fine print. I don't feel like there's any kind of necessarily any shadiness, but just something just something we just want to be mindful of, okay? But let's get some tarot on this and get some more details. Oh, Taurus. There you are. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm with it. And you know what? Hold on, let's see what else we got here. Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. And a little surprise there. Okay, Taurus. Let me tell you what just happened here. So you got... Oh, I love that. So you got the Hierophant, the 4 of Swords, and the 7 of Cups all in reverse. But then you got the Hermit upright. And you know what, Taurus? I feel that if we've been in a place where... if we just maybe been feeling stuck as far as like what direction we want to take, or just been feeling maybe even kind of stressed out, or... just really just not ourselves, maybe this is something, just things have been just kind of off maybe here, this is just maybe we've been in like a weird cycle, or if we've noticed that we're getting into that, maybe something might be transpiring during this time. Take a moment and let's hermit, let's reflect, let's journey within, let's get eyes on some things, especially if we're not in something, as things come up, because sometimes, it can, growth looks weird, like it's, sometimes, the challenges and the obstacles that come our way can be a little much, like can be a little tough at times. They can really push us, maybe challenge us, maybe doubt our abilities, doubt if we can actually rise to the occasion. But considering that you showed up here, Taurus, I feel like you can, but it's just, we got to take a moment and get our heads right, get back balanced, because I remember I was talking about perspectives are going to be important. And if we feel that we are not sure where we're going, that we're lost and all these things, it's not that you're lost, Taurus. You're on a self-discovery. You're trying to, literally, you're trying to get connected with yourself, get connected with higher self, however you connect to the source, your future self. So, if we find ourselves overwhelmed, stressed out, anything along those lines, we're just imbalanced. Pause for a second. You got a lot of earth energy here, Virgo and Taurus. So just take this time, figure out, let's shine some light on some stuff and do some healing, Taurus, because that's exactly what Scorpio energy is about. To find these areas that we're feeling lacking and to strengthen that bond again. All right, I like that, Taurus. That's how we work with this eclipse energy here, especially, look at you coming here through in a strong way. I'm with it. Now let's talk about your ruler, because your ruler's in Gemini. And with Venus being in Gemini, this is a very, very lighthearted and cerebral placement for Venus. She entered Gemini on the 11th of April, and she'll be there through the 6th of May. And this is very fun, this is like the Empress in her socialite energy. So this would be a great time if we are thinking about doing any sort of like community things, humanitarian aids, maybe want to do some volunteering, something along those lines, then absolutely, Venus has got your back. This is great, because Gemini is very much, they're very, very witty, very fun, just intelligent energy. And also, this is a great time if we are wanting to think about areas or ways that we can improve ourselves, and increase our knowledge of ourselves. Venus in Gemini is great for that, because Venus, being your ruler, she's all about investments and things, and knowledge is important. The Hierophant, this can be a card really of higher of knowledge and of finding education, and maybe I'm just even thinking where if we're not even sure, not even like that, we're not sure how to self-improve, or I just feel like if there's something that we feel like we might want assistance on that we can't seem to find, maybe on like a YouTube or just like doing general searches, things like that, be open to even connecting with a mentor, possibly even, whatever, however, apply this to your situation, Taurus. But let's get, because did I actually tell you what this is about investing in your knowledge, Taurus. That's what this energy is great for us. Like, I don't even think I finished that thought. So there's that for you, Taurus. But let me get an oracle card on this and see how we can work with this. Interesting. All right, Taurus, you got all right, let's be mindful. You got the 6th card of Scorpios here, which is the bedroom card. And with the bedroom card, this is a card of sexual fulfillment, intimacy, sensual pleasure, love affair, sleep, contentment, leisure, nap, sleep on it, alone time, oasis, retiring, dream time, astral travel, and call it a day. Now, considering, because, one thing too, considering, Venus, Venusian energy can be very kind, very charming, very, very elegant. If we do find ourselves, maybe in maybe out flirting and whatnot, that's fine, Taurus. But, let's just be mindful of just how we're expending our energies. That's all, especially, your sign being a sensual sign. We're all in all this sensual energy right now. Just be mindful. And especially, too, really, let's be mindful we're, doing casual things right now, just because, we're in a casual energy right now with Venus and Gemini, but eventually Venus will be moving into Cancer, and we want to be mindful where we invested our roots, Taurus, so just be aware of that. But moving from that, I do feel that with some others, that if we have been thinking about these bigger life things, you know, just what direction, you know, what do we want to manifest? How does growth look like on us? You know, what options do we have? Taking some, I really feel like taking some alone time, sleeping on this thing, meditating on this. And you know, this is something too, just thinking with the retiring, if this is something where if we are, you know, just maybe in retirement and we're thinking about what that next chapter looks like, you know, you don't even necessarily have to start even something new. This can be a great time if we have any sort of like old projects that we've been wanting to, excuse me, that we've been maybe entertaining over the years. Bring up some of that stuff, you know, dust off some of those cups and see what we have available to us. But you know, I do feel like that this is something to, you know, ruminate on and figure out what do we want to do next. And, you know, just thinking too, just with this dream time astro travel, if you know that you're an active dreamer, this is something where I've been mentioning that maybe having like a dream journal by your side, maybe looking into, and this isn't medical advice or anything along those lines, but do your research, you know, maybe looking into like lucid dreaming or something along those lines, you know, but there's just could be, if that's something that's resonating with you, just something to think about. You never know what gold, what abundance might be lurking in your dreams there, Taurus. But let's get some let's get some energy on this. Interesting. Okay, so you got the Queen of Wands in reverse here, and then we have the Page of Cups upright. And I really feel like with this Page of Cups, Taurus, just if we've been, because I'm just thinking with this Seven of Cups, you know, Wheel of Fortune, if we've been feeling like things haven't been going our way or feel like there's not a lot of options or things along those lines, we really got to be careful with that mindset, you know, because there are a lot of opportunities around. We just have to, one, we got to figure out what it is that we're looking for, you know, ask those internal questions, and then when we do, figure out how we can take those dreams and manifest this stuff. And don't feel like that you can't, Taurus, you know, because sometimes I feel like maybe when the Queen of Wands pops up in reverse, I feel like when we think about pursuing like dreams or like, and this, again, this doesn't have to necessarily even be like a job. This could be maybe even like starting up like a healthcare routine, or maybe changing the diet. Maybe we're the type will start up something and then like it fizzles out maybe halfway through. But I feel like that sometimes when she pops up in reverse, it's like we feel like that we doubt ourselves. Like if we've been trying something for a while and if it doesn't seem to stick, I feel like it's like, if that's something that's been happening, the Queen of Wands she's a creative person. You know, she's the type that she just goes and knows that she's going to figure out, but she's going to make sure that she's having fun with this growth while she's doing it. So let's say if we've been working on like a workout, and because that's like the easiest one. If we've been trying to maybe make like working out a routine, but let's say we've been going out running every day, but it's just like every time we do it, it's just like, we know it's good for us, but it's just like draining, you know, just like it doesn't have, the body doesn't feel good. Because listen, like I like working out, but I personally don't run, you know, just like it's just not it's not how the body likes to move. And that's what we got to tune into, you know. This could be something where maybe we change up, maybe we work out from home, you know, maybe we do like high intensity interval trainings, maybe we do strength training, maybe we go to a gym, you know, maybe we're working out at like a park, maybe we're switching things up. But that's what Queen of Wands does. If something's not working, she's not gonna, especially if she set her heart to it, she's gonna figure it out. She's gonna keep powering through, and she's not gonna, I hope this is making sense, Taurus, but you know, just if we haven't been feeling abundant, you know, and if we've been feeling like that there aren't opportunities, there are opportunities out there. And you know what, Taurus, just even thinking this is a great time for you. If you don't see any opportunities, then let's create something. You know, let's manifest this stuff and figure out what that means. If you've been wanting to start like like a craft group or something. Maybe you want to start like a woodworking place. Let's start networking. Maybe let's, this is an innovative time right now. Opportunities, Wheel of Fortune isn't just going to fall into our lap. The energy is going to be there, but we gotta utilize this stuff. We gotta use our imaginations and figure out how we can make this stuff manifest. So yeah, dude, I hope that made sense, but just something to think about. Alrighty, Taurus. Let's talk about Cancer. Because with Mars is in Cancer right now. Mars entered Cancer, I want to say, towards the end of March. And will be in Cancer through the 19th of May. And with Mars being in Cancer, if we've been asking ourselves these questions, like what's the next step looking like? What passion do we want to pursue? Mars in Cancer is great for answering that question, because Cancerians, I don't know if I mentioned, my son's in Cancer, and when we set our hearts on something really resonates with us, we're going out and getting it. We Queen of Wands all day. And this is great energy, just thinking with Mars. Mars is a planet of action. So it's like, if we have any sort of dreams, desires, whatevers, go pursue that stuff, Taurus. Let's go make your happiness happen. All of this stuff here, self-improvements, whatever it is, community work. Let's make those dreams come to life and go pursue that stuff. But one thing with this energy, because this is a weird placement for Mars, because technically Mars energy, it falls in Cancer. It's a little bit weaker. So it's something to think about, because Cancer air energy, when unbalanced, can be emotional and reactive, and same with Mars. It can be aggressive, reactive, and we don't want to be in a reactive place, especially when we're dealing with emotions. We want to be in a proactive place. We want to use those emotions as indicators to figure out where life is trying to lead us. That's how Cancerians, navigate through their intuition. And I think that's all I got there. I've been doing that. I thought I had more to say with that, but that's it, Taurus. But let's get a card on that. Oh, this one. Okay. Dope. Okay, I'm with it, Taurus. Interesting. So you got the third card of Libras here, which is the Cabin card. And with the Cabin card, this is a card of lonely, confined, detached, remote, secluded, go within, insulate, disengage, close off, kept apart, quarantine, island, segregate, separated, divide, disconnected, and sequestered. And just because that's basically Hermit all day. And just if we've been, because I'm getting a couple things with this. If we've been, again, just kind of really asking ourselves these big questions, not really seeing the abundance, the opportunities in things, let's Hermit. Let's reflect on that. What areas are we, because it's really, when we look for, like, we're just thinking with tarot. I was just talking with a friend about this not too long ago. He was like, or they were like, I'm looking for answers. And it's just like, well, I feel like tarot is not really there to provide answers. It's there to help us spark those internal questions in ourselves. If we've been feeling like we are, like, things haven't been going our way, why is that? Is there something in particular? Is it like my home environment? Is it the people I'm around? Is it the place that I'm working at? It just gets those gears turning. It gets you asking those deep questions about yourself, and allows you to, be honest with yourself. That's what I feel like this energy is about. We need to sit with this stuff, and maybe it's not about looking outside of yourself, Taurus. This is a time to look within. But I am getting for some others, though, if we've been sitting on some things, just like I feel like we had some ideas or something along those lines, and if we're feeling maybe nervous about maybe getting something started, I will say there is a thing, we can hermit for too long, or I don't want to say hermit for too long, but we don't want to keep that light hidden, Taurus. We want you to shine bright, especially, coming into your birthday season. You want to be, come make way for the Hierophant. So, in Taurus, that's something too. The Hierophant is so wise. He's the divine, the masculine counterpart to the High Priestess. And if you're sitting on gold here, Taurus, share this stuff. Let's do, because maybe that's something with this humanitarian thing. Don't be nervous. If anything, if you've been wanting to get out in the public, but let's say you have been feeling nervous, I've been telling people, that's a good indicator, because that means that it means something to you. That it matters, and that you want to really bring your A game. You want to be at your best. So, if anything, let that fear fuel you even more, because that's Queen of Wands. She just got excited just thinking about that. Like, oh yeah, challenge accepted. That's Queen of Wands energy. That she's got Aries, and she's got a little bit of Pisces in her chart. And that Pisces is compassionate, loves to. More. Let's get some more on this, Taurus. Oh, I don't think we got anything on this, Taurus. So, man, I was like, let's get some more on this. Let me actually pull some tarot on this, Taurus. I love it. You got the 8. We got the 8 of Cups in reverse, so we got some things we got to think about. But we also got the Judgment card here. But let's talk about this 8, because in order to get to this Judgment, with the 8 of Cups popping in reverse, this is Saturn and Pisces, and how great, we're going to be talking about that next. But with the 8 of Cups, if we have anything that we feel that is, get eyes on this stuff with that eyeglasses, anything that we feel like is holding us back in whatever areas in our life, this giving too much, or maybe not moving, whatever it is, Taurus, we want to address that. We want to get eyes on that, and we want to start getting you in a great place. We want to start thinking, how do you transform into this Hierophant? How do we get this Hierophant upright? And that's going to be the name of the game for these until the next eclipse seasons. Thinking about this stuff here. What does ascension look like for you? What is this major level up going to look like? Because, and we're going to talk about, this is Pluto energy. We're going to be talking about, there's going to be some big change. Pluto's all about transformation too. So this is some big things that we're thinking about here, just with the planetary energy that you have right now, Pluto and Jupiter. How do we transform into that most abundant, expansive version of ourselves and really reap those rewards? More. All right, Taurus. Let's go on. Actually, let's talk about Pisces energy. Actually, let me get a drink, and then we'll talk about this. So with Pisces, you got Saturn in Pisces, and then you have Neptune in Pisces. And Saturn entered Pisces early March, and will be there. Saturn stays in a sign for roughly about 3 years, and will be in Pisces until like 2025, like towards almost around this time, around May. Not this time, in May. But with Saturn being in Pisces, this is great energy if we've had any sort of like dreams that we've been thinking about, or anything along those lines, any sort of like things that we want to just bring to fruition. This is, I think I did this with Sagittarius or Pisces. I think I did this with Pisces. What Saturn wants to do is take all those dreams out your bedroom and wants to bring those to light. It wants you to to manifest all those great ideas that you have. And that's where I was thinking, if some of us have been sleeping on some type of stuff, or we've been maybe doubting, or not able, or maybe we're even not sure how to bring a practical approach with what we're doing. Saturn and Pisces, reflect on this. Maybe do some networking. Don't disregard your ideas. Even if we can't think of anything, just write this stuff down and keep it in a journal, because who knows? I've been telling people, maybe you'll come across someone, might spark a conversation one day. They may mention a skill, which was something that you need for this idea. You pitch this stuff, and next thing you know, you're networking. But Don't sleep on these ideas, these dreams. And again, if we had any type of dreams or anything like those lines, I've been really doubling down on that. Bring that, keep a journal, all of this stuff, because this is the time to really make this stuff manifest. And when you think about, let's talk about Neptune and Pisces, because Neptune rules over Pisces, and will be in Pisces until 2025. She's now Neptune, when she chills after Pluto, Neptune chills real hard in a sign. She chills for about, what is it, about, oh my goodness, I want to say it's about 14 years. Something along those lines there, Pisces, something along those lines there, Taurus. But Neptune and Pisces, because she's at home, the energy is extra dreamy. And now that Saturn is helping us bring those things down, you can take that extra vivid imagination, Neptune and Pisces is very like Page of Cups. It's very imaginative. You can do so much with this thing. You could literally create an ocean if if we wanted to of ideas. But we got to the thing with Neptune and Pisces, one of the lower vibrations is that you can get caught up in fantasies, and we can just stay in the dream world and not bring this stuff to reality. So we got to be mindful of that. But also, Taurus, just with this humanitarian card, Neptune and Pisces is such compassionate energy. I mean, it's unreal. And this is a great time, really these next couple of years, what a great time to really think about building a community, strengthening those bonds with your friends, your family, and just like really building up your soul tribe. I feel like that's going to be really important up until, just always, but really that's going to be thinking about this over the next couple of years, just kind of seeing where the astrology might be going. We're going to want to, just be in just love and harmony and all of that, just really just great energy. But again, both of them are very spiritual energy. So this is a thing too. If we need to do like a retreat or something, get in touch with our spirituality, maybe go on like an actual spiritual retreat, or maybe we're just renting a cabin in the woods, or maybe a cabin on the lake, but just doing something along those lines there, Taurus. But let's get an oracle card on this. Love it. You got the 5th card of Geminis here, which is the yacht card. Look at you, baller. And with this yacht card, this is a card of adventure, affluence, luxury, mobility, travel, great ease, smooth sailing, sophisticated, with the wind, self-indulgent, prosperity, comfort, wealth, over the top, and extravagant. And so, really, just depending on where you're resonating in this could be a great time for maybe even just doing like an escape, whether, if we've been needing some me time, there's a strong indicator, your cabins, you can get cozy in your bed, we can work on our self-care, Hermit, this is great. When I was talking about being in nature, all this Taurus energy, going on an adventure, maybe taking yourself out of doing something, self-indulge a little bit, just doing things, I feel like that just really get you in a place of great ease, and just like that things, feel like that can make you feel, especially if we haven't been feeling like abundant or been feeling like things have been going our way. Because Taurus, just and this is something that I feel like since like your last monthly reading, this has been like the energies have been kind of building up for this stuff. So I feel like really don't give up on this. Don't feel like that especially been feeling like we've been kind of down on our luck. I feel like that things can change. It's just, again, keeping that perspective, keeping that mindset, reminding ourselves, just how abundant we are, what is our goal, and how do we adjust for that? How do we get towards this yacht that you're building? But let's get some tarot on this. Because this may be for some of you, like really, this, like I feel like in order to maybe even get this ascension, maybe it's it's really just going on a getaway or something. I feel like maybe like an epiphany would possibly even spark or something along those lines, Taurus. All right, let's see what we have here, Taurus. Love it. You got the star card here. Wow. And you got the Ace of Swords in reverse. And you know what? That's, if we've been feeling like we're just not certain where things are going right now, you know, if we're just like, if we're looking for those, like those epiphanies, those insights, that like a sign or something along those lines, really, you know, the star card, I really, after like the Hierophant, this is Aquarius's card, you know, it's like connecting with the source, you know, however we connect with source, higher self, God, Buddha, Jesus, however, that's the future self, whatever. But really tuning into that internal self, and we can do that through like meditation, maybe through getting out in nature, is listening to those, being with your thoughts, you know, because if we're in a place where it's just been turmoil and things, or, you know, just kind of been stuck in our heads, of course, we're going to miss the signs, we're going to miss the signals, you know. But when we take this time, do some healing, you know, work on things that have been, if we've been feeling stressed, letting that stuff go, if we've been stuck or whatever, you know, like doing the self-care, the manifestation starts, because once we start working on that connection, Taurus, you see here, then the water starts pouring out. That's how we really do it. This is like, you're getting that's like double star card here. And Taurus, you know, working on this stuff is going to help you realize your potential, realize what you can manifest, and what a skill that's going to be for a Hierophant, really coming into their energy. Come on. Let's get more. I was like, what else do we need, Taurus? But yeah, let's get some more on that. Love it. All right, we got Page of Swords, and then, yeah, absolutely. So, with this Page of Swords, you know, really just where your mind's at, and don't doubt, like, because now we're starting to rack up. I'm just realizing now you got three of a kind here. We're racking up pages, and I just really just with where you're at, Taurus, I feel like that if we can just, I feel like it's like where our mindset is at with this Page of Swords popping up in reverse. If we're doubting our ideas or doubting our progress or anything along those lines, anything that's like lowering your vibration, be careful with that, with this Eight of Swords, because the Eight of Swords is a self-imposed prison. You know, it's those things we tell ourselves that, you know, that we can't manifest, that we're not intuitive, or whatever it is that keeps us down. But the nice thing about the Eight of Swords is that we built that prison, and so you know who better than you to tear it down, to remove some of these swords out the ground, to untie yourself, and to see. Again, with these Page of Cups, see the opportunities that are around you, even in these tough times. You know, if you've been going through like a tough cycle here, you know, there's epiphanies there. There's growth even in the tougher situations, because adversity is what leads us to something amazing. You know, but we have to have the challenges in order to, you know, it's a balance, you know, and sometimes these, you know, especially if things haven't been going our way, if, you know, we've been in this place of doubt or whatever it is, it can keep us, Yeah, we just want to really be careful with that. I just like that's been like the theme that I've noticed for like all of the signs. Like where our heads are at is going to play a big factor. And if you tell yourself that you can't do something, that anything along those lines, you set restrictions on yourself. The Ace of Swords, just like good ideas can pop up on the ground, it's a double-edged sword. And if we keep pointing that sword at ourselves, and we keep assaulting ourselves with that sword, it's going to affect the ideas that come that way. So we got to be very aware of that, Taurus. Okay. Alrighty. Let's get to this last little bit here, because you got Pluto's card. Well, you got Pluto's card, but let's talk about Pluto. And Pluto's in Aquarius. Love it. Pluto's in Aquarius. This is a great time for you, Taurus. Jupiter is Taurus. You see, things are lining up for you. And it's really like we might just need to take a moment and just pause and just really see that, because it's right here, Taurus. And I know, and listen, I know how that sounds. This is like, well, where? Because keep in mind, this is the energy that you're bringing me. It's the potential is within you. But and with Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto's about to start doing a retrograde dance too. Got jealous of Mercury just being the one busting moves. But Pluto's going to be going retrograde in Aquarius from the 1st of May until the 11th of June. And we'll retrograde in Capricorn and do a whole thing. But during this time, this Pluto in Aquarius time, there are going to be, because when you think about the outer planets moving, it brings about, like, yes, individual change, of course, but it definitely brings about, we're going to feel this on a global standpoint too. So they're going to be more, if we thought that these cycles were going to get any easier, like they can if we work with these energies. But if we're not being aware of what's going down and we're just kind of feeding into the chaos, there's going to be there's going to be more tower moments. There's going to be there's going to be more judgment coming through as far as like transformation, things coming to light, because that's what Pluto does. Pluto is intense. Pluto comes through, and it means for a little dwarf planet, you can look at that. They even tried to demote Pluto. Pluto don't care. Pluto's coming through like, okay, you call me small, but watch this change. How's that change feeling? But ain't Pluto so sassy? But this, things are going to start coming to light, Taurus. That's just, it's gonna be a roller coaster, but we want to keep a cool head during this. The nice thing about tarot too is that it gets you thinking about these things. This is how we work with the energies. We ask ourselves these questions. We see this stuff coming. We may not know how it's coming, but it's just like, in what ways can we get prepared for it at our best? Because the last time Pluto was doing shenanigans in Aquarius, this was around the time of like the American Constitution was ratified. It was the French and the Industrial Revolution. And that's just not even covering everything. But just to give you an idea of what kind of change is getting ready to come, Taurus, just think about this. This is a great time. This is not a time to be in a place of panic or anything. This is a time for innovation, for thinking outside, not even thinking outside the box. Forget the box. We're creating pyramids now. It's going to be a completely different game. But let's get an oracle on this. But it's gonna be so exciting. I'm pumped. I'm with it. Interesting. And this is what we want to avoid. So we got the 5th card of Sagittarius here, which is the yarn card. And this is a card of hassles, problems, big mess, interconnected, complicated, patience needed, future gains, work it out, made up story, many working components, mischief, and out of control. And this is where I feel like how, because keep in mind, Taurus, I don't really keep up with, if it's not in like the ether, I'm not really keeping up. I don't really watch a lot. I don't watch news. I'm not, you see how I do with social media. I usually read a lot. So there's, depending on, there may be a lot of in the news, maybe in whatever we're listening to, maybe with people we're talking with, there might be talks of just like, you know, perpetuating the chaos, that everything's out of control, that it's a big mess, you know, but where you can be the foundation, you can be the rock that stays calm in all of this mess, you know, because it's going to take some, what we're going to need during this energy is some patience and really thinking about, instead of focusing on the fact that all of this stuff, because that never, it's the wildest thing, you know, it's like, instead of like, it's like you'll see that it's like I almost feel like this yarn card of where the energies might be when we get caught up in chaos. It's like we see that the forest is on fire, but we're just complaining about it as opposed to doing things to putting out the fire. And that's where I feel like we want to be. We don't want to be the ones that are just observing things burning to the ground. We want to be there to either help put out the fire or be there to help build on top of that fertile soil once things have resolved. But this is a time, Taurus, if you find yourself in any kind of hassles, problems, things, breathe for a second. Pause. You got this. You can get these situations that are coming through. They're getting ready to change you. They're getting ready to get you to that next level. So don't feel like that anything that goes down, just going forward. Don't feel like that this is something where the universe is trying to take away from your abundance or trying to keep you down, restrict your options, anything along those lines. Just thinking with that made up story, that's Eight of Swords. If we keep telling ourselves that, then that's the story. It won't be so made up because that's the reality that we're living. But if we start getting in that practice again of living in abundance and keeping a cool head, even when the yarns are jumbled and it's just a hot mess, it's going to strengthen you in the long run, and it's going to really say a lot about you, Taurus, because it shows that you can really rise up when it matters. You know what I mean? I like that. Mind the heat. Mars is in Cancer. You know, so I was telling, what was I telling? I think I was telling Pisces too, you know. I was doing Capricorn, but Capricorn's reading last week and they caught a little bit of heat. But it's all from love, Taurus. All right, let's see. Let's see what we have here. Oh, okay. Nice. I'm with it. Okay, so I think this is the last little bits we got here. So, oh, I love it. There you are, Taurus. All right. Okay, let me tell you what just happened. So you got and I like this. You got the Five of Cups in reverse here, and then we got the Three of Pentacles, the Fool, and your other card, the Knight of Pentacles, upright here. You know what? Let's switch back over here, Taurus, because with this energy, this is what I was talking about. You know, with all these opportunities that are coming in, we could either focus on the mess or we can see that we can start brainstorming. We can start thinking about what are we going to do to build on top of this, you know, because now we're working with new foundation. It's a whole new game up, or whole new game. And just even thinking about, like, if we just, even with this yarn card, just even thinking on a smaller scale, if we just been feeling like things have been out of whack with ourselves, you know, that we've been having problems or hassles or, you know, just been conflicted and things like that, you know, yes, absolutely. Just thinking with that, I was going to say that with this card too. Patience is going to be needed, but this is something that, don't let this deter you from taking that, from taking that step and really to deal with if there are any sort of like internal issues that we're dealing with or things that we might be healing from. And keep in mind too, Taurus, if there is something that we're going through, you know, don't be afraid to maybe reach out to a friend or maybe hit up like a family member. If we need to seek professional help, it doesn't matter. But what does matter is that we get ourselves back into where things feel in control again, where you feel like that even when things go south, that you're like, oh, okay, I was ready for this. Okay, we can do this thing. And really, Taurus, just last thing with the Five of Cups popping up in reverse here. I like that because we could either be like this guy who's focusing on just how everything is doom and gloom and spilled, and that we're just like these cups will never get filled again. Or we can look behind him and see that there are two, because when some cups spill, Taurus, new cups are getting filled, you know, at the same time. You know, that's the lovely thing about the Wheel of Fortune. The cycles are always moving. It's just what we do with this time. Do you want to focus on these cups? Do we want to get these two cups back here? Or do you want to even go bigger, Taurus, because you're ambitious and want to go get a river? So I'm with it. And you know, really, yeah, just, oh, I think I had mentioned that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Taurus. So I dig that, and hopefully you dug it too. And you know, help spread the message around. You know, give this a thumbs up, and share this, Taurus, if you know someone who might be going through this. You know, because this is interesting energy. It's like you are I feel like in a really great time right now to really just give yourself, like, really focus on coming into your energy and really embodying like your Hierophant, Empress energy, just being abundant and really just intentional with where you want to grow, Taurus. So you share this stuff, and then when you're done, Hierophant, subscribe, hit that bell button. You might not even hit that bell button, so intuitive. You'll just know when I upload videos each week. And then as far as I've been working on this group on this meditation app, Insight Timer, and it's a group called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a place where you drop like positive affirmations, encouraging messages, especially going through times like this. And while you're going through this hermit modes and, you know, reflections and things, you know, if you think of anything along the way, what better way to contribute to the community? Just drop a little nuggets there. Look at you, Taurus, just raising that vibration. But again, that group is called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration, and it's on the meditation app Insight Timer and all that. I hooked the description box up, Taurus, so check that out. You know, I got all kinds of stuff, goodies in there for you. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, wherever, Taurus, come on over and check out my other channel, The Tarot and Friends, because I'll tell you what, like, you and Cancer, like, we have like a really good relationship. Our rulers get along. You know, Venus is going to be in Cancer soon. That's a lovely placement. The moon is exalted in your sign, our ruler. So just come on over, Taurus. We just love your energy. And we discuss lunar shenanigans. I do videos Monday through Friday there. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card so I can get you out of it. Wow. Sorry, that just, wow. Ace of Wands. That just, wow. Wow. Ace of Wands. And with the Ace of Wands popping up, when we're going to get let's get your Oracle card. That Ace of Wands. This is the time toward, like, for me, Ace of Wands, I had a big decision, like right before I decided to really kind of shift over to this channel. You know, I remember pulling, like, just kind of asking higher self. I was just like, and this is like really kind of early, just like, does this make sense? Like, does this, like, you know, like this, like, should I take the, really, should I take this leap of faith and give this thing a try? And I got Ace of Wands, and that's where I really feel like that there's going to be, this is for the self-improvement, Taurus, you know. Take the leap, you know, see where this growth is going to lead you. But I feel like that this is the opportunity for you to take action. You know, this is not, don't sleep on this heat, you know. Absolutely. Because it's time for growth, Taurus. You got the Death card in reverse here. And if we're not growing, Taurus, just even thinking, if we refuse to grow, our tree's going to grow in the ground. And that's not a comfortable way for the tree to grow. The tree wants to reach towards the sun, towards your happiness. And so we want to do things, Taurus, really thinking about what this transformation looks like for you. What are these next steps looking like for you? And again, they don't have to be like big, like, you know, like life-changing thing, like as far as like what's my next career or anything along those lines. It's just like, what do I want to do as far as like a workout? Or maybe like, I think I want to change my diet. Or maybe I want to do, I don't care for my sleep routine. You know, I think I want to try getting up earlier. You know, just little things like that, and watch how those little things compound into really big wins. So, all right, I think I'm going to leave that there, Taurus. Hopefully that made sense. I feel like I was kind of all over the place today, but it's, just with where your energies have been, I just feel like that things are starting to ramp up. And don't, this is going to be, there are going to be moments where it's just like, where we're going to be in doubt. It's like, is this it? Like, I don't know, higher self, but don't lose that connection. Keep that bond. Trust your instincts. Trust your intuitions. You're rooted in the earth. It's brilliant. So, all right, yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. So, you stay safe out there, Taurus, on your travels. If you plan on traveling or you going on your retreat, but Taurus, big thing, focus on just like raising your vibration through the roof, and really just embrace this change, and work with these energies, because something's cooking up, and something's been cooking up, I feel like, with you for a while. So keep it up. I'm excited for your growth, and I will catch you on the next one later.